Welcome back to these 22 podcasts. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm joined by my co host, Cam.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but
I don't
it
know
has.
either.
It's been a solid 2 weeks since we've made a podcast episode.
I know, it's been forever.
It turns out work and school get in the way of things you want.
Definitely.
But a lot happened in those 2 weeks. And the main thing we're going to talk about is our experience watching the new Antman movie that has been a lot of controversy. It's like the second worst rated MCU movie ever, and we think that is complete nonsense and garbage. So, yeah, but first, I think we should get into what we thought was going to happen in the movie and what we actually got correct.
So our first theory of Ant-Man was that Cassie was going to follow in the footsteps of Scott, of stealing stuff and just criminal. In the movie, she literally just shrunk a cop car with Pemtech, and then she just got put in jail. Really stupid, but kind of cool.
Yeah, the one thing everybody can agree about this movie was everybody hates Cassie.
I feel like Cassie was a good character though.
I didn't like her at all.
Oh, Janet.
Because here's why I didn't like her. She was complaining that her dad still hasn't done enough to help the homeless people in San Francisco that refuse to get a job and are lazy. And she's like, why can't you save them? Anyways, he saved the world. I think he should be able to write a book and retire. But no, he has to save the homeless people in the streets, even though it's the government and city's job, not his. But
yeah.
Anyways.
So the second theory was that Janet was working with Kang, and Janet and Cassie were building the beacon so Janet can lure all of them back into the quantum realm for Kang.
Was that what you thought? Because I thought it was just the quantum entanglement that was never mentioned in this movie, even though it was a big plot point of the second movie.
Yeah, no, I think they both led up, because I remember you talking about that, and I remember me saying something along that.
So you just put them together.
Yeah, technically.
Okay.
That was wrong. Cassie just wanted to, learn more about the quantum realm, and so she built it with the help of Hank and Hope.
And the ants.
And the ants, yes. Janet just wanted to stay far away from King as possible.
Yeah, it's a little hard to believe. Yeah, she probably, was a little scarred from being down there and she didn't want to tell anyone about it. But when she knows that there's a guy that has the potential to bring multiverses together and cause wars, I would let the Avengers know and then send a bomb down to the quantum realm and explode it. But, actually, that would probably kill the fabric of time. Anyways, still,
Yeah,
I would do something about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't just keep that a secret, knowing all the power that he had, even though he's stuck in the quantum realm. At least warn people that he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
But
don't go down there, guys. Don't go down there.
So we already talked about quantum entanglement, that it was going to be part of the movie. There, no mention of it whatsoever.
Yeah, that's so odd.
So we were talking about Scott and the time vortex where he just multiplies. It was just all the different possibilities that could have happened. So yeah,
taking place in that moment. It was a really strange scene, but it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Who actually ended up in a time vortex? Was that the ants that just went into a time vortex?
Because I don't think so. Because the time vortex is the multiple possibilities. So MODOK is Darian Cross. That was one of our theories. Obviously,
well, I think it was everybody's theory.
Yeah, obviously, we were right. We were right. No one else.
Right. We were right on this one. He would be the the comedy relief of the movie. I said he would be Fat Thor, and that's kind of what he was because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, is that him? Wow, he looks funny," and
Oh
that happened to him in every single scene he was there, and it got a tiny bit repetitive, um,
yeah,
but it was still funny. His end, I thought that was great.
he really wanted. He's Avenger now.
He's an Avenger.
Like it's officially confirmed. He is an Avenger.
Fly high, brother.
All right, so we're talking. So seven. Oh God, I have a lot of theories written down. So we're on 7 at 19. So our seventh was Modoc. Modoc's character design was going to be bad, and how right we were. It was so bad. That
All we needed
CGI.
was that little glimpse that we saw in the trailer, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Humpty freaking Dumpty."
That that was just so bad. Like you could tell it was CGI. Like
Hold on, I'm looking at the theories, and number 9, you said Scott going into the Modoc suit. Oh, like shrinking down into it?
yeah,
Like,
but yeah, we're right. Modoc's character design was going to be bad. Kind of figured. So next was another Modoc theory that we were going to see Darian Cross turn into Modoc,
didn't.
which would be cool to see in the beginning. It They kind of had a flashback of what happened in the first movie, and they kind of like you know I wouldn't say really like have like a full transformation, but like showed bits and pieces. We got to saw Modoc naked.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They probably spent like half their budget on that.
On the little shine on his butt.
Uh, multi-million uh project for that. Yep. we
All the
already,
homies love Modoc's butt.
oh yeah, we already talked about Modoc going into I meant Scott going to Modoc suit. That didn't happen. My favorite theory: Electro in Quantum Mania.
Now, what was your facts behind this?
What do you mean?
What made you think Electro was gonna be in Quantum Mania?
Just the electricity of the orb, you know?
Just the
Just
memes. I think it was just for the memes.
yeah. Sadly, he was not. Sad. Too sad. 11th was Kang sent Scott to collect the power orb thingy.
Correct.
Yes, go! Uh so Scott Kang and Scott had a deal. Kang got what he needed, and Kang just got really, really mad and just started going haywire. 15, Modoc equal Fat Thor. You know, the
Easy
comic
money.
relief. Yeah, reality, Modoc equal Fat Thor.
Number
You,
16 was the one I got.
yeah, you pointed out. It was kind of hard to see in the trailer,
It was
but
Modoc
Mo-
has a heart monitor.
he did, and that was. I was surprised that you could like recognize what it was
That's
because it
because
was
I'm
so
gonna go in the
blurry.
medical field. I'm just about that life.
Oh yeah. So 17, Kang dies. Uh,
I mean,
we don't really see a body, so like, how would we know?
yeah,
I mean, they said that he was dead, but like, how would they know? They weren't
yeah.
there.
I mean, the main theory going around is that he's in the same position as Scott was whenever he was inside the energy orb, where he was
Yeah,
living out the different possibilities, and there was multiples of him. So that's what most people think has happened to King.
yeah. I don't think he's dead. In full honesty, I don't. So the second to last, Ant-Man dies. He lives to see another day.
Yeah, he lived. He got beat up though, but he
He
lived.
got, yeah. Oh, and then Cassie was going to take the mantle of the Ant-Man.
Nope, she's her own thing, but she
Yeah,
probably will replace Scott whenever they do the Young Avengers.
one day.
I'll be honest, I'm not too keen on the next lineup of the Young Avengers.
I'm not either.
All right, so I think we honestly did really good with our predictions for the movie.
Yeah, we, I mean, we got some wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
but that's
it's
just a theory.
a podcast East 22 theory. Wait. There we go. I clicked the wrong button. I didn't mean the drum roll. I wanted just the buttons, but that's all good. But now that we went through our theories, let's get into the
The
critiques
actual
of the
movie.
movie. Yeah. Uh, do you think the hate is warranted for this movie?
No, oh my god. The day after it came out, I saw on TikTok that Ant-Man has 1% on Rotten Tomatoes higher than Eternals.
Whew.
What?
I have not watched Eternals, but I
It's
haven't heard good things about it. But I can't judge anymore because I hear terrible things about Ant-Man. But I saw it and I thought it was not as bad as they're saying.
like the audience score, they gave it like an 83. The critics
Yeah.
were like, yeah, this is like Eternals.
I personally think it's just become such a trend to not like Marvel movies, and it is definitely Marvel's fault as they have not put out good movies lately. So I think it's
Yeah,
just a trend to not like them. But I think they should be, praised for putting out a good movie like this. I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
So I remember one of the Cam's gonna get more of what the critics were saying, but one I saw was that this movie takes away um, the biggest strength of the Ant-Man movies, and no pun intended, it was on a smaller scale. It
Powered by Riverside.
We're
I
keeping that in. We're keeping that in.
I meant to press this bad boy. Um,
Oh, that
oh,
scared me. I'm like, I thought that was me. I thought I just had like a the YouTube in the background, and I thought it just accidentally played.
should we just hear out what Riverside had to say?
Yeah, look.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Thank you, Riverside, for letting us record our audio and then export it. But
Damn, they have their own ad in here.
this podcast is sponsored by Riverside. They're really cool. They let us record our audio and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Riverside.
Yeah, I was talking about the biggest strengths of the Ant-Man movies was that they were on a smaller scale. But people criticize those movies because they didn't feel big at all or really connected to the MCU. But now that Marvel has put out a big platform Ant-Man movie with a lot at stake, people are like, "Oh man, it's too big. It takes away from Ant-Man, so it's impossible to please everybody." And I personally think going the bigger route for the trilogy of Ant-Man was a good point because Ant-Man deserves a movie that starts a new phase, and he got it, and it was a good movie. So no complaints from me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good start to phase 5.
It
It
was.
it was good movie, really good movie. I
It
gotta
has its
watch it a couple more.
flaws, as all movies do.
Yeah.
It had its flaws.
Um, I was kind of expecting to pull Doctor Strange, but it did not disappoint. It really didn't.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't pull a Doctor Strange.
Uh,
If you don't know what that means, in our vocabulary, it means that to Doctor Strange, a movie means that you have really high expectations for it, but it ends up being one of the worst things I've ever watched. That's a stretch. It was just really
Yeah.
bad. I gave it a 3.5 on my movie review out of 10, which is a little mean, but I don't care. Cam, why do people hate this movie?
I don't know, to be honest. It's just I'm gonna read a couple of the critics' side. So one person, I don't even know how to say their name. I was gonna call them out, but it's
We're
just
gonna get sued for defamation.
all right. So one of the critics says Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania feels like more of a Disney Plus special than a film. It's messy, overindulgent, on weak CGI, and humor falls flat. Jonathan Majors is great as Kang, but Marvel seems more focused on creating a 2-hour trailer for something better.
It's kind of true, but then again, it's the start of a new phase. So any movie that's kicking off the phase is gonna have ripple effects throughout. The rest of the movie setting up the other movies. So
Yeah,
I kind of agree, but not really at the same time.
this one, a movie about Ant-Man and a Wasp would do well to focus on Ant-Man and Wasp. Where was Wasp? Like, she was only like in an eighth of the scenes.
Yeah, I legit forgot that she was in the movie a few times.
She'll be
Like,
like here to say hi, and
Janet
then
had way more screen time than Hope,
yeah,
which makes sense because she knows the quantum realm.
Cassie even had more screen time.
Yeah,
I
Cassie
feel
did.
like that's it for the critics side.
Yeah, they say all that, but does what they're saying equal a 48 or 47%? Like, how is it worse than Thor: The Dark World? Can they tell us that?
It's
Oh yeah,
outrageous.
what did Thor: The Dark World get?
Let me look.
Yeah. I'll use you as my Joe Rogan Jamie for a second.
Or I bet.
I think every episode I'm just gonna say this quote from Joe Rogan. Jamie, pull up that video of the guy's face getting ripped off by the chimpanzee.
It got a 66.
No freaking way. Hold on, one more time. What did Thor: Love and Thunder get?
A 63.
Hold on. Hold on. They had Thor: The Dark World better movie than Love and Thunder, and Love and
Oh
Thunder
my
is
god, I
not.
just realized. Wow.
Love and Thunder is not even that good, but it's way better than Thor: The Dark World. and I'm even like on the like I'm a very light defender of Thor: Love and Thunder. I thought it was close to being good, but to the excessive comedy, the complete beatdown of Thor every time he's on screen, making him lose another family member, all just to give him a kid, and that just doesn't interest me. But
Yeah, that
I thought it was close to being good at least.
yeah, it was really close to being good.
But Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is better than Thor: Love and Thunder. I think I give it personally a 7.5, but it's close to being an 8.
Yeah. I would re-rate it to an 8.5.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I think all while watching the movie, we were all like, "Bro, that was a great movie."
We we were talking about it so much, like during the credits, waiting for the post-credit scene. Oh, we gotta talk about that post-credit scene.
We do. There was two, and normally it's like one of the few Marvel movies with two, right?
Yeah, it's rare to get to.
I just had a feeling. Normally, I just get a feeling there's only one, like Love and Thunder. I knew there was just gonna be one.
Mhm.
Um, Black Panther, I knew there was gonna be one, but I had a feeling there's just gonna be two, and I'm glad we stayed.
I mean, you always have to stay for you gotta stay for the end for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, remember when we stayed till the end for the Batman, and it was just like the Riddler saying "I'll be back" or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it was cool.
yeah, but we wait. I don't know why those credits were so long. I think
I
it
feel
felt
like
long.
every DC movie is just the credits so long.
I think it also felt longer because we were all in a time rush to get home.
Yeah, we were on a really bad time crunch.
But yeah, so the first post credit scene was one that I predicted live. I thought they were going to show the Council of Kings, and they did,
Yeah,
and they were basically doing what Zeus did at the end of Love and Thunder, where he was like, these humans, they they're getting better. They're able to take down, and they said kill the king that was on the quantum realm. So they're like, we got to start making plans. We gotta come together and show these humans business. I believe that's what they said, right?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I think we were just in awe that we saw like so many freaking kings.
That there was so many.
The only one I knew by name was Pharaoh Ramatap.
Yeah.
And then there was like one that had like a rock face. The Thing confirmed.
Oh.
But yeah, and Cam, explain what happened in the second one.
Oh my god. I was flabbergasted when I saw this. So we get wait, hold on. How did it start? It
It's
it showed like a play stage. It was like it looked really small, and it had wait, what? The curtains were closed, right? And then they just started. Yeah, the curtains were closed, and then they started to open. Had this weird looking like machine, and there was a sign right next to it. It was like something Mr. Timely, and we look at the crowd. It's it's like an old like not 19 like the 1800s, I think. No, not the 1800s. It's like they're in like the really old age. It
yeah,
was
they're all
where
it's where all the people are wearing the same clothes, the little
yeah
like leather coat and the hats.
yeah it's where they had film with like captions, like the caption cards.
Yeah.
They go to like
Well,
the
let's
film.
just say Albert Einstein's time because that's basically what King's role was.
Yeah, so we go to the audience, and then we get a close up of this guy. At first, you don't really recognize him, and then it just starts puzzle piecing together. It's Loki
And Mobius.
and Mobius. You can't forget Mobius. Mobius, love you. And then we hear this guy talking. Don't know who it is. We see the shadow figure, curly hair, poofy hair, actually.
Victor Timely.
Victor, mother freaking Timely.
And it's Kang. It's a version of Kang. We we both watched the new Rockstar's video, and they did explain that he is a version of Kang in the comics. So he's a real thing.
Our theory was that he was the first king, like the very first, but we don't think that no more.
No, I still think He Who Remains was, and God knows where this one fits in. I guess this king probably used maybe the quantum realm to time travel. No, 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 because the kings figured out another way to time travel. They never explained that. They never explained how the kings managed to time travel. I guess
Yeah,
his chair, but like what? And then they had the orb, but what exactly was the orb? They never really explained that quantum media, like what the technology was he used for time travel.
yeah, they didn't really explain that.
Well, is this king obviously must have just went back in time and
Or
you
it could
know.
just be Kang from that time period.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just I like that it's a little complicated because I feel like it's all going to really make sense at some point. But for now, it's a little complicated trying to keep up with the multiverse.
Yeah, it's they're kind of heading all over the place, but I feel like when we get to that time, it's all gonna make sense.
Yeah. Um,
But that
I have a feeling. How do you feel that the multiverse is going to work in the Flash? Do you think it's going to be really simple, or DC's going to complicate the heck out of it?
well, I don't think they're gonna complicate it because they're just scrapping everything from the past.
Yeah, that would be their best move for sure.
Yeah,
I really hope it is just a universe reset, but I'm really curious to see how that happens. How they reset it all. If
or
they
is this
do,
movie just gonna be standalone without like the James Gunn's universe?
yeah, which I would hate because it's just another wasted movie.
Yeah, it. If so, this is probably gonna be like the last film of that DCAU universe.
Yeah. Um, I really feel like they could have done something with this universe if they really nailed the Justice League movie and not the Dark Side as the main villain
Yeah,
because I think that's just really lame.
they had so much potential for that movie too.
Zack Snyder's version was a lot better than don't remember the director's name, but the guy who directed the Avengers. He directed a Justice League movie, but Zack Snyder's was a lot better. It but it was just still stupid. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand. But going back to the post credit scene for uh Ant-Man with
Man.
Loki, that is, I mean, that post credit scene is secondly a little teaser for Loki season 2,
And
which
yes, they did use this movie to kind of set it up, but this movie still has significance because one, we might see the return of a king with more vengeance, and Scott is aware of King, and he is right now paranoid because he doesn't know if he did the right thing. And I really love the ending of the movie
yeah,
because it leaves us with so much doubt about if he actually did the right thing. And he doesn't know that, and I think that's really cool. And I loved like how they had the little monologues inside Scott's head because I've always thought, the being in the mind of Scott's head must be like, exhausting. And I really got to see that. That was good.
yeah. I'm just thinking about this right now that people didn't like this movie was the start of Phase 5, but they kind of needed this movie to be the start because it introduces Kang. Kang was in the quantum realm. It technically everything just goes back to Ant-Man. Technically,
Yeah, and I think Marvel recognized that Ant Man was really significant in the Infinity Saga, and I think they're going to make him really significant in the King Dynasty saga too. So I'm glad they're utilizing him good now.
yeah, because now like the future like projects or films, whatever you want to call them, they're all gonna at least relate back to Ant-Man or Loki in some way.
Yeah,
Because now
and
Ant-Man is big about Kang.
yeah, the good part about that is that a big criticism of Marvel lately is that you have to keep up with so many different stories now. But now there's a clean slate, and you pretty much have to watch Ant Man and then Loki season 2, and then you'll know everything about what's going to happen.
Yeah. I really hope Loki and Scott meet up. They probably will, and I really can't wait for that dynamic between them and like
Hmm.
talking about Kang and like I hope they team up. That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, I don't think they're going to team up, but I do think that
They're going to cross
Loki.
paths.
No, I think Loki's going to meet completely different people than Scott. I think he'll probably meet up with what was the villain from the second Deadpool movie?
Cable.
Yes, I think he'll meet Cable and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Somehow, because Cable, whenever, gosh, I've watched only Deadpool 2 once, and it was so long ago. But what he was describing in the multiverse sounded a little like what the actual MCU is, and I definitely see him crossing paths.
Thank you for listening to the East 22 podcast. Make sure you hit that bell. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. And hey, we're just kids, and this is our opinion.
Wow, that's a good outro.